So when we arrived in Vienna that night, we went to the Hampton Hotel, we dropped off our stuff, and then we decided to go out to the Innere Stadt, mainly to see St. Stephen's Cathedral. We ended up taking a taxi. My dad mentioned that that was the first time he'd been there since like 1987, 1988.
He was a kid, 88, I think it was 88, I was here last time.
It's been a little bit.
It's still a spectacular.
That was quite loud. For me, being the first time I was there, it was beautiful. The lighting, the architecture, obviously, almost like paintings, and as we'll see later, like stained glass windows. It was an absolutely beautiful church. I do want to mention when we were walking outside of it, there was an advertisement for the messy burger. It felt really out of place, especially like on a cathedral, like an advertisement on the cathedral. So after spending a little bit of time there, we walked for about like 8 minutes to the Hard Rock Cafe. Of course, an essential place we got to visit. We walked by a couple of restaurants, saw a place that was selling the Famicom, and then when we got to the Hard Rock Cafe, I got to sit in the big chair.
Vienna.
Mountain Dew, Mountain Dew, Mountain Dew, Mountain
Wait, where?
Mountain Dew, Mountain Dew, Mountain Dew.
Undo.
Like
The bourgeois Hard Rock. Yeah.
And overall, like I would say, like the staff people there were actually very nice, except for our waitress. After we got our pins and stuff, we decided to eat dinner there just because it was kind of getting late. Also, when we were waiting for our food, I saw the song Worrying by the Joy Formidable playing on the TV, and I really enjoyed that song. I still listen to it to this day. And there's also another music video that played. I can't even find it. When we were looking at the menu, I saw some item called a Stiegel Hell, which I misread and almost thought it was another phrase that was used in the 1930s. I ended up getting this burger with like some apparently traditional jelly inside of it. It was alright. I mean, the jelly was a bit of a strange taste, but anyway, I mean, my food wasn't that bad, although my parents really didn't like theirs, especially my mom. We ended up leaving not too pleased, and then we went back to the hotel and prepared for tomorrow. So I did a room tour. This is actually a really interesting looking hotel. A lot of lights and stuff. Dark red color. The bathroom, the toilets, really interesting dispensers for like soap, shampoo, body wash, stuff like that. It's a mirror. Got 2 beds. Chargers. A TV, a pretty large TV. A lamp, which I just hit my head on. Very nice. And there's Alex. Very hipster looking with the stuff on the wall. If we go through here, there's a door that connects it to the other room. The layout is the same. That's the rooms. Can you please open the door? Now, unlike most people who would spend like an entire day in Vienna, like as soon as they get there to see all the sights and stuff, what we decided to do was go to Bratislava and see the Tripoint Border with Austria, Hungary, and Slovakia. And I feel like that was still a good idea. So that morning when we got up after like eating breakfast and stuff, after leaving the hotel, we decided to visit the Parliament of Austria. Quite a beautiful statue from the Austrian Parliament. This is my, like 3rd governmental building visited. It's quite impressive. Ooh, I should go up there. Then walking up here, from there, it's quite beautiful. The outside of it was very beautiful too. Like awesome statues and paintings on like the inside open area. It's quite the view. European Union.
Hey, that is quite full moon up there.
Full moon. Whoa. It's really warm outside today, so yeah. I snapped like a photo inside. It was pretty cool. I also saw a park. It was pretty nice. And as we were leaving through this one underground parking lot, we realized we didn't take our passports with us. And even though Slovakia and Hungary are in the Schengen area, we just wanted to take them just in case to see if there was an area where we could stamp our passports. That was wishful thinking. There isn't. We did a loop around. On the way back to the hotel, we also saw the votive Kirche, the votive church, I guess. Gigantic cathedral. And then afterwards, we made our way towards Bratislava. Bratislava is not even like an hour away driving from Vienna, so it was a pretty relaxed drive. We actually passed by factories inside of Vienna, and we also saw the airport, which we were actually going to in like a day and a half to go to Macedonia. The border of Slovakia There's a lot of windmills in this part of Austria. Another way of how to tell the border apart was the Austrian side had windmills and the Hungarian and Slovak sides did not.
They decided to put all their windmills at the end of the country.
And Slovakia is like right over there. Like you can see Bratislava. After passing through the fields and going through the state Burgenland, which is a very, very thin state in Austria, we finally crossed the border into Slovakia. Good fart.
Where's the Austrian?
The border checkpoint. It's on the other side after you cross the border.
We're here?
Here we are. Bratislava.
We're in Slovakia.
Okay, so
Slovakia, my 6th country, first Slavic majority country I've been to. And because I was curious to see if the border checkpoints were still functioning or if they were just completely abandoned, I told my dad to like maybe try to turn off on one of the roads to see if we could like turn back around because we just passed by one of them. We took a wrong exit into Hungary.
So this is, what, 5 minutes after we entered?
yeah, Slovakia or
Slovakia.
Hungary.
We're not the only one. The car behind us is following us.
Right here. Hungary.
Oh.
There it is.
Welcome to
Did you take it? Take a picture.
Okay, too late.
Entered Hungary.
Oh, this is the parking.
Yeah, so if we don't know
After being-
Slovakian, we're definitely not gonna know Hungarian.
A rest stop here?
Maybe? We were in Slovakia for like 5 seconds and then...
There it is.
Let's see if they have anything over here. Hungary, my 7th country. Now, in the long run, this actually did work out better because we got to see Hungary earlier in the day when there were maybe a few more people there in this one village. We went to the village Rajka. So, we're in Eastern Europe now, basically. This would be my 7th country now.
We're in Hungary and it feels Hungary.
Yeah, Eastern Europe.
Although
Very
Budapest
much.
is awesome, but it seems like if you go off the beaten path, not so much.
We actually passed by a former border check there, too, where you can buy a vignette, but we didn't need one because we were only there for like literally not even 2 hours. Now we're in the beautiful land of Hungary.
And how was the WC?
The vets look very Eastern European. Okay, there wasn't a hole, but
And you know, like people from like Hungary are like, no, we're Central European, we are not Eastern European, and it's like,
Absolutely
Yeah.
amazing experience so far.
it wasn't that surprising because I kind of knew like what the architecture and stuff looked like. The crazy part that I found was just how stark the change was between going from Austria, which all the buildings there are very, very developed, the facades are crazy, and then you go to Hungary and it looks like Hungary from 1989. Enough bashing Hungary because our experience there was actually pretty nice. It tries to connect to magenta automatically, for me
don't
at
worry,
least.
we'll fix that when we get back into Slovakia, when we get the signal back.
We will.
We're on Orange SK.
But eventually we entered the town Rajka, which was like the nearest settlement to the border, and we decided to just check it out to see what was there. As soon as we entered the village, we saw a statue for Francis II Raskoczy. He was the Prince of Transylvania. Rajka did look pretty, almost like brutalist. For instance, like the school looked pretty brutalist.
The roads are a little,
Look at that awesome buildings.
oh my god.
The houses, I mean, looked like your typical Eastern European house. Honestly, the village wasn't that bad, but at one point, like only like a few minutes after entering the village, we were slowly followed by a cop car behind us, like a Hungarian police car. Eventually, when we turned into this one restaurant, Rajka Kuria, he eventually stopped following us. When we were at this restaurant, they actually had like a little bit of like a farm thing. There's like a little port by the river where people could take boat rides. We didn't have time for that, but we saw some of the animals. The signs were in Slovak, and I think there's a lot of Slovaks that live in this village, and Germans.
Oh, it spits, be careful.
Oh,
that's the
some animals at this one, like next to this one restaurant in Hungary,
Do they like
in Rajka.
kill these and then you eat them?
I don't
I
think
have
so. We didn't end up eating in the restaurant. We just kind of went through it. I'm not gonna lie, here, and then we ended up going to a convenience store later. There were just people staring at us like, what are these tourists doing here? Well, this is the proper Eastern European experience, wouldn't you say so?
Yeah.
So after leaving, went to the center of the village, and it had a cool little sign that said the Rajka with a heart next to it. Also a World War II monument because most of Eastern Europe faced massive losses in World War II. So it's a very distinguishing feature when you go to this part of the world, honestly. And then we went to a store called CBA. It was just a drug store basically. They had some groceries there. We got to see the prices, and the Hungarian forint, the currency they use there, is so so destroyed. Saw drinks for Hell Energy. When we were at the store, we just got some like snacks and stuff. And when we were buying the stuff, my dad asked the lady at the cash register whether she spoke English or not. She said no. Then he asked if they take euros. She said yes. The cash register, it switched from Hungarian forint into euros. And it looked like an older cash register too, so that was kind of crazy. She did say that the change would be in Hungarian forint, which I mean, please do. How was that experience, bro? It just immediately, like, I know people say Hungary is Central European, but that was
not Central European. I still felt old communism right through,
I felt
through me there.
communism too.
Yeah.
You should post about this on Instagram.
Oh,
Went to Hungary today. Worst mistake of my life.
So then afterwards, I planned out the exact roads that we needed to go to get to the Tripoint Border. It wasn't that far. It was like maybe like 5 minutes driving. Once we made the correct turns, we passed by some cool farms with some hay barrels, and then we made it to the Tripoint Border. There it is. Right there. So it was a pretty neat marker. They had some remnants of the barbed wire fence, and it was kind of surreal to see that because that was the border of what was the Iron Curtain at that time, with Austria being a Western capitalist country and Czechoslovakia and Hungary at the time being communist or socialist.
And you can tell Hungary's not very welcome. Because this is literally the border between Austria and Hungary, Western Europe and Eastern Europe.
So yeah, this is the Tripoint Border. I'm standing on something. Oh, it's to probably be well fortified, I assume, because of the barbed wire. But yeah, it's just kind of in the middle of a field. Not something you see every day.
No, you don't.
Yeah, and all the way over there, that city over there is Bratislava, which we will
all
go.
The windmills are Austria.
And then over there is Austria, obviously, in the hills, the windmills. There is Hungary. Slovakia. We're in Slovakia. Now we're in Hungary. Now we're in Austria.
Kind of a surreal moment. I'm not gonna lie.
And I ended up taking my Ushanka out because, I mean, hey, I was in like 2 former socialist countries there. And with Hungary, I wanted to make sure that no one was looking because Hungary does not like that part of their history. But yeah, I took some panoramas there, took some videos. It was pretty cool. My brother farted in 3 countries at once. Farted in 3 countries.
Okay, listen. I literally just stood right by there, and I just unleashed it. You know, I'm happy for you now. It's always been a dream of mine to flatulate in at least more than 2 countries at once.
We were just talking to a Slovak man over there. He was pretty chill. He said it was the first time he ever went there, and he lived in Bratislava, which I found pretty crazy because it was like 20 minutes away. At one point, I asked like what one of the signs was about, and he basically said it was like a nature reserve. That was pretty cool. Why don't they give stamps? That was about it. It was just a field. Then after leaving, we turned on this one roundabout that almost went straight into nothing, and then we ended up turning back towards Slovakia. So now we're in Slovakia.
Now we're in Slovakia.
Again, my 6th country. Okay, so here we are in Slovakia. So now we entered back into Slovakia to explore Bratislava.
Straight to that presidential palace.
Passing through Slovakia, we got to see all the commie blocks. You know, a little bit of brutalism there. We passed straight under the UFO Cafe, which we would visit. We ended up driving straight past the old part of the city initially, and saw the presidential palace, which was pretty cool. Presidential palace in Slovakia, in Bratislava. There's a flag. It's very interesting. By some streets. Crazy. Very bourgeois. And then we ended up driving back towards the UFO Cafe. The elevator went sideways, which was a bit wonky. So, this elevator. I don't think I'm gonna do that skywalk.
Hello.
Yes. You want to see the observation deck first, or do I?
Let's do the observation.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, we can do that. Go on. Už te poprost. Oh my gosh. Ovo je tilted, tako?
Mnogo čisto,
Mnogo čisto. Novu čisto I novu staro.
View is awesome.
Bratislava from the UFO Cafe.
As the futuristic UFO Cafe.
Oh, very.
Well, that's Hungary that way. Austria that way.
So Austria that way.
Slovakia's this way, right? You see all the buildings.
Yeah.
You know, the rest of Bratislava
Slovakia.
is still there. And you can see some Austria over there.
Well, no, Austria's that way. No, that's not Hungary. That's actually Austria that way.
Look. That's Hungary that way.
Wait, really? I think Hungary is like over there. I thought.
Nuh-uh.
It is very, very pretty.
It's a pretty awesome view though.
It is, and it's clear.
There's the old town. It's crazy. Some tall, ugly buildings over there.
I guess I can stand up here. Oh, wait, Daniel.
This building is angled. No, I know. We got to see some of the views there. We actually talked to some of the employees there too, and they talked about how like tourists visit, but people rarely eat there because it's so expensive. We ended up only eating dessert there because it was just unreasonably expensive.
So here we are, the UFO. And finally here with the camera. Everybody.
Wet napkins that you had to pour water on to make them wet. They looked like pills or something. The view. It's very nice. They put paper on your lap and stuff. It's very, very formal, I would say.
The old town right there. The fortress right there. And the Danube. That's very important.
There's the bar and stuff. To say that this place is overpriced may be an understatement. But that was a lemon something. How would you describe that?
Unreal. Pretty spectacular.
Otherworldly.
It was fantastic. How would you describe it?
Like lemony kind of.
It was pretty good. The raspberry sorbet is really good.
It was very
Like
good.
foo-foo dessert.
But the views from both the top and from the restaurant were absolutely stunning. Really beautiful. You got to see the entire town and some of the mountains in the back too. Got some magnets from there too. I have one up there. I mean, yeah, that was really about it. The building was built in the 1970s, so it did look a little dated, at least on the bottom. We ended up driving back towards the center of the city. Went to the old part of town. Parked at this one underground parking lot. And yeah, we started walking around. Saw a stop sign.
I don't. Cobblestone roads.
Cobblestone.
Hey, Nikki, come here. Look, record store. You can find us approximately 25 meters in this direction.
We ended up going to the record store Vinyl Love Platne, and it was pretty cool. And the two people who worked there, they were actually very nice. The guy followed me on Instagram. Unfortunately, I didn't get any CDs there, but I was asking if they had like any stickers because my bass guitar, I wanted to put stickers on there from my travels. Unfortunately, he couldn't find anything, but he did give me 2 posters, one of them being like a Stevie Wonder poster. I still have both of them. He gave me them for free. He said it was gratis, so I didn't have to pay, but I still tried to find something to pay for, so I bought the bag. I would have bought something else, but we were on a very, very tight crunch schedule that day. But yeah, very chill dude. We passed by the famous Michael's Gate, but we didn't really go inside or anything because I mean, it's just kind of there.
Yes, go ahead. Go on, see if there's something you like in there.
And then we walked down the main street there. Bratislava did have like a lot of embassies in their old town, or at least like different flags of different countries and stuff, which was pretty cool to see. We had lunch at this place called Urban Bistro, and the food there was alright. It was just like, it was like a wrap. Inside the place looked pretty cool as well. There were some nude photos in there too, but after that, I mean, we just kind of walked around the old part of downtown Bratislava. It was kind of like a quaint but like growing city. The vibe is definitely a lot different from Vienna, where Vienna is a lot more hectic. Good thing we're in no lack of souvenir shops here in Bratislava. This mystical city that I saw on a map many years ago, and thinking, why is there a capital city next to the boundary of like 2 countries? We saw the statue Čumil. Oh, there's my guy. Right there. A famous statue of some dude working in a sewer. Saw some of the other stuff there, like Bratislava drinking team with the Austrian flag. Just like souvenir stores. I saw Burger King there.
You guys want something else today?
No, we just ate. I'm gonna go check out McDonald's.
You want to?
So, in Slovakia, in Bratislava, there's a song playing. Pretty cool.
It started out with an organ and it was really cool, and then it became a generic 80s song.
We went the wrong direction.
We went the wrong direction? What?
I want to watch this. Oh.
Take a look, take a photo.
Let's take a look at these stickers. It's crazy.
Take a picture of this cookie.
Then we passed by the Hlavné, námestie, which is, I guess, like one of the main squares there.
Run through the water?
I think we're in the middle of the square. Double check.
I think so.
So this is the main square at Bratislava, Slovakia. Quite the statue there. Angel kids peeing, of course.
Nasty.
And look, Starbucks Cafe. Of course, sick of the Starbucks.
Starbucks is worldwide now. Alex and Nikki waiting for us as we're ready to go. What did you guys think?
Awesome.
It was.
Slovakia is very nice.
I like it. It's got regulations.
Go! Now we're following a tour group. Lots of graffiti on this bad boy.
Saw the inside of this one church.
We got the brick road here.
Oh, the church.
Oh, yeah.
Brutalist architecture, but classical style. All right, off to the car we go.
When we were walking back to the parking lot, we saw there's like these weird looking statues that looked very, very creepy. And I ended up having them in a dream for some reason like a couple days later. Walking back to the car, we saw there's some mural that looked like it was built during the communist times. Also, Eastern Europe loves their questionable advertising. Afterwards, we decided to visit the Slavín Memorial, which was just a bit uphill. We drove up like this one neighborhood and then we visited the memorial. Walking up to the Slavín Memorial. Ooh, the view of the town. But aside from that, the actual memorial itself, which was dedicated once again to people who died in World War II during the liberation of Bratislava and some other places around Slovakia with the Red Army of the Soviet Union. It was like a very monolithic monument that stood with like very little trees between.
I'll take them to the higher parts of
Look, you can see надписи Macedonia.
Oh, I know.
A bit of a sobering area, but it was very, very open compared to a lot of the other places there.
It's a big monument. Bratislava.
Also, most of the graves were in Russian too.
Rusi. Right?
Yeah, looks like it. I pull out my Ushanka again. Got the Ushanka. But we are leaving now.
I don't want my picture at like memorial.
We also visited the Legislative Assembly of Slovakia, which was just next to the castle. The Parliament building I thought was kind of cool. It was very, very brutalist. Although the fountain did look a little rough, I'm not even gonna lie. The Legislative Assembly of Slovakia. Then we ended up driving through the area that has a few more embassies.
Those foldable sabs
So
on
past the
phones
water,
are so
turn
cool.
left.
You can talk to people on your phone. When you get mad at them, you can just like...
This area I found really strange because you have like just random houses here and there, and then you have like these gigantic apartment buildings.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Comedy blocks.
That's what I'm talking about.
Blocks.
Oh.
No, these are in vogue.
And look at those.
Decorated commie blocks. I love the fact they're painted.
Oh, look at those.
Oh wow, this looks like Tron. That was really about it. I mean, we passed by this one gas station where we got Mountain Dew. We also saw an advertisement for KFC that said hip hip kura. So kura in Slovak means chicken, but in Macedonian and pretty much all the southern Slavic languages, it means penis. So then we left Bratislava, and that was about it for that day. We passed once over the Danube again. Actually, we passed over it like 3 times. We made like another loop by accident. Couldn't stop seeing the Danube.
We're back here.
Oh, look at this guy.
We're going back to Bratislava. Then we drove back towards Vienna, which was actually very, very close by. The Austrian border was only like 3 minutes away from driving. You're going back into Austria.
Actually, they actually had stuff on that side.
Oh, this one looks better than the other one.
back in Austria. We went to the hotel again to just like drop off the new stuff that we purchased, and then we decided to walk around Prater Park a little bit. Prater Park is a pretty large area in Vienna. It's basically an amusement park. Our hotel was actually only like a block or two away from it. But before we did that, we passed through the Sigmund Freud University. We ended up eating at this one place called L'Osteria. The food there was actually very good. I would recommend it. Waiting for the food in 4K.
Candle.
Eating Italian food in Austria.
Since we're recording in 4K, you can now pause this video, look at the menu.
And that's all you're getting. When I was in the bathroom, I do remember there's like a gigantic spider. Well, gigantic in terms of like northern European climate. We ended up walking around Prater Park, this amusement park area. You'd have to hold your balls on these rides.
Very popular park. Very popular park.
It is. It looked like something I would see, honestly, in the US. It wasn't too different from anything else aside from seeing like Viennese on the signs. There's the oldest Ferris wheel in the world in Prater Park there too, which we actually would check out the next day. Vienna. It's very chaotic even at like 11 something. Yeah, like 11:20 almost. It's pretty crazy. So tomorrow we're going to leave this beautiful country of Austria. What are your thoughts?
It's a really funny country, like we're in this like theme park right now, right?
Well, yeah, we are.
You know, like look outside, look at the rides. A lot of rides here. Pretty cool country, I'd say, you know, overall. Things are a little gay here.
Yeah.
Things are gayer in Germany.
And yeah, that was about it. We ended up walking back to the hotel and prepared for the next day. We're gonna go to Macedonia like later today on like a night flight or something. The next morning when we woke up, we once again had breakfast. My brother dumped out his Mountain Dew that he brought from the US.
I smuggled this Mountain Dew into 5 countries. Oh, there's no carbon in left. Goodbye, Mountain Dew. I love you.
We also checked out the gym, of course didn't use it. Got some balls.
Stuff. You got big man stuff. You got big balls.
And I also reviewed my Mountain Dew. Slovak Mountain Dew. So let's see. It tastes like dew. There's also some other drinks that we got, like this one ginger ale from Hungary. After that, we headed out. I mentioned this in the last video. The parking structure that we parked at, for the first night specifically, and we ended up owing almost $70 in US money. So my parents went to this one area to try to fight it. When we were walking through here and stuff, we ended up passing through this one very modern looking hall, past some offices. We got to this one area that did deal with that parking stuff. They didn't really help out that much, at least then. We did end up getting the money back, but there wasn't anything they could really do at the time, so we spent like 40 minutes there, maybe more, I forgot. Afterwards, we actually passed by Sigmund Freud University again, and just as we were approaching like the staircase, there's a lady who was studying there, and there was like a gust of wind that sent like a lot of her materials flying. I was thinking about helping out, and my brother, without even like questioning it, ran to help her, and I also tried to help out too. And that made me realize maybe I should help people. Despite how goofy my brother seems on these videos, he does look out for people. Sigmund Freud University. I heard he liked eels. This campus is kind of small, but took some photos in front of it. Then we went back to Prater Park. A lot of roller coasters.
We're going to the big Ferris wheel. What's this park? Prater Park.
Balls. It's balls. The donut place, looking like a donut. Checked out this one area with arcades. Looking straight out of 2003.
Were they LCD? I can't tell. They're either LCD replacements.
Yeah. And then we ended up seeing the Viennese Great Ferris Wheel, or the Wiener Riesenrad, which, again, is the oldest Ferris wheel in the world. It was the tallest Ferris wheel at the time. I know. It's pretty crazy. I need to get paper.
For what?
My pits. And yeah, in the bottom there's like a little museum there. 60 meters. I mean, I know that was the flag of Poland, but...
No, they look like they're the Polish hussars because they have the armor.
Oh, true. Building church. Oh, they use train carts for these.
That's the point.
And then we went up the Ferris wheel, Doesn't move very fast. Danke. Sorry. And we saw like actually pretty beautiful views of Vienna. I would definitely recommend it. On the one side there's Prater Park where you can see just like a ton of roller coasters and stuff, but you can see the entire overview of the city and it looks really nice. Quite the view.
Really flat. TV tower too.
Quite a nice tower. You can really zoom in on that camera. It's
Yeah. Oh, we get the whole view of the park here.
You do. Simon Pet probably.
Oh, this is the Wiener whatever.
What did you say is the oldest?
It's the oldest Ferris wheel. I think it's the first Ferris wheel.
What are your thoughts?
Wait, let me get the camera. I was into something. What are these? It's like a big construction thing.
Oh, very nice.
This is a really nice train.
I'm just zooming into the
There we go.
I think it's really nice. I'm gonna zoom into a random person on the bottom.
Interesting experience in the city of Vienna. Unfortunately, we're going to leave. So then from there, we decided to take the metro actually into the Innere Stadt. So we took the subway line U2, which is kind of funny because my dad listens to U2. I do too, actually. Got some photos inside the train station there. There's this one Persian guy that we talked to on the way to the train. He actually helped us figure out like what train to take. And he was very chill. He did mention that the city apparently has gone downhill in the past couple years. The city was very nice. Like, I didn't have like any complaints about it in terms of like safety or anything like that. Subway.
Here we are. Vienna.
Yes.
Subway.
It's crazy. Not fall.
Oh, there's another subway.
There it is. But anyway, we got to the Innere Stadt.
It went again.
We saw St. Stephen's Cathedral again. A lot nicer in the morning too. We're greeting with St. Stephen's Cathedral.
You guys want to go in the shade and take the picture?
Yeah, we could do that. We also went to this one gift shop, got some stuff from there too. There's this one box that said I love pens.
Yeah.
Sure.
I was looking at these funny lighter things.
I read that very wrong. Such a beautiful cathedral. And just a gift store, of course.
Yeah.
They do have a lot of stuff.
I want something that looks like a big food. They have a seahorse, which is technically a beach. With the cathedral, you have the praying area, then you have like all the area where the monks and like the nuns sleep and all that stuff.
Imagine that being your house.
I'd love it.
St. Stephan's Cathedral, something like that.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello. Playing guitar. Sounds pretty good.
She's annoying.
Let's go inside. Then we ended up going inside St. Stephen's Cathedral. Smells like a church. Vivaldi, my guy. Oh wow. But still, stained glass is really insane. We actually paid to go inside this time, so we could explore, so we could further like walk down the entire cathedral.
It's much more spectacular during the day. It does.
Honestly, very, very beautiful architecture, very beautiful paintings, beautiful stained glass. Had a beautiful organ. Oh my lord.
Oh my god. I didn't see the view of that stained glass from up there. Look at that. Yo.
I know. Jesus Christ, literally. And in terms of Gothic architecture, it's very, very nice. It's absolutely stunning. It's probably the nicest cathedral I've ever seen in my life.
And this is definitely the pipe organ.
I suppose.
I'm 99% sure if you stepped on one of his foot pedals right down here.
They absolutely did. Hello.
There's the catacombs downstairs if you want to go.
Oh yeah, let's go. St. Stephan's Cathedral. Beautiful. So then afterwards, we were still in that area, Stephansplatz, like that area in particular. And when we were there, we were overhearing like some people talk about like Viktor Orban and Alexander Vučić, the presidents of Serbia and Hungary. They're actually there for like some bilateral meeting, and they were exiting this hotel. What did we do? We decided to spend about an hour just to see if we could see them leaving the hotel.
Some pretty powerful.
Didn't expect to hear that today.
Yeah.
Here he comes.
Which, spoiler alert, we couldn't. Got up close and personal with the Austrian police. Viktor Orban, apparently. Nothing really happened. It was just hot. In the case of Vučić especially, you cannot miss him. But somehow, we didn't see him. My mom took this one photo where we think it's Vučić, or maybe it's one of his bodyguards who looked similar to him. Aside from that, we got to enjoy the beautiful architecture around us in the heat and the sun. The next thing we did, and I don't even have a photo from this because it was just that disappointing. We tried going to the buffet Trzynewski. They like serve traditional Viennese. They're called sandwiches, but it'd be like the equivalent of like a fourth of a sandwich. When we were there, the people working there were kind of rude to us. They were like, go to the back of the line. You can't do this. You can't do that. And it's like, we didn't want to eat there anyway. So there were two different places we could have gone to. There was like some Balkan restaurant that was right in the city center of Vienna. My brother and I especially were like, we're going to be in the Balkans later today, so might as well eat something else. And that something else was Five Guys. It was a 3-story Five Guys.
That's cooler as you go up. That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Nobody's up here.
Vienna. You know, we're in Vienna. In proper Austrian food. I mean, it tastes like Five Guys. It was burger, fries. The American Embassy. I mean, Five Guys. And where for the lids they have this, no straws, but I feel like this uses up more plastic. After leaving, we ended up going into the Peterskirche, or like the St. Peter's Church.
It's one of the big other cathedrals. The one that's in a lot of the stickers and stuff.
Yeah. Alright, let me go up to it. That's another pretty famous cathedral, if I'm not mistaken. Afterwards, we were just walking around the Innere Stadt area. Very beautiful buildings. We saw the column of Pest, which was this gigantic statue there, made out of like gold. If it's not God, I'd be disappointed. Wandered around for a little more, and
I thought that car up ahead was Mountain Dew.
if only. We slowly made our way back to the hotel.
Fourth floor, Louis Vuitton. Look at that. I want to see the Rolex store. I want to see $45,000 watch that does absolutely nothing except tip.
Jimmy Choo.
Jimmy Choo. Wait, should we go
Jimmy Choo? Valentino. Who's who of the most expensive stores.
Look at that road.
Is on fire.
It's like cobblestone.
Hi.
What's up? Oh, okay.
The path that we just took, just so you can see on the map. So we just did the loop like right here. So this loop right here is the innermost of the Innere Stadt. The innermost of the Innere Stadt is the most spectacular part of it, as you can see.
Yeah. Let me walk down the stone street right here. Stone. Just like that, we have returned to where St. Stephen's Cathedral is.
We completed the loop of the Innere Stadt, so I'm happy.
Smells like manure.
You know, you need to take a picture of.
What?
You need to make sure when you use that camera, get a very high resolution image of that amazing Hard Rock Cafe.
Messy.
Yeah,
it's so good.
Saw that pretty quickly.
it's still bad, but oh well.
There's people up there.
You can climb to the top.
You can?
Wait, where?
It takes about 45 minutes.
Where?
All the way to the top of the spire.
Oh, I'd love to do that.
No, thank you.
My ankles are on fire.
Such a beautiful cathedral, JFK. That apparently is a restaurant. We ended up taking a taxi back to the hotel, and the guy driving us was a native Austrian. His family was from the Sudetenland in the modern-day Czechia, and he made it very clear that he was German. He had a very, very nice car. Also, the reason he mentioned where he was from was because he was driving us in a Mercedes-Benz, which most taxi drivers, whether they're from like Serbia or Romania, like one of the Eastern European countries, they usually don't drive nice cars, unfortunately. But he got that privilege. Anyway, we went back to the hotel, and that's not quite where the story ends in Vienna. Yeah, we're leaving the Vienna hotel now after walking through the city a little bit. Not asking. How can you not be asking? Because we ended up driving a bit and going to the Academy of Fine Arts Vienna, which was the art school that rejected Hitler. Has, I believe, only like 1,000 students, almost 2,000 I think, maybe. But yeah, imagine getting rejected. Couldn't be me. Well, I mean, I also wouldn't apply for art school, but some stickers here. So we're close to leaving.
This is one of our last stops, I think.
Yeah, second last or something like that.
And then we go back to the airplane.
We go to Macedonia.
To Macedonia.
Finally, this mystical land. I mean, around there, it was very pretty. They had multiple statues and stuff. And it wasn't that far from the rest of the places that we were going to, so might as well give it a visit. That guy has his thingy out.
You're at Tikva.
And then afterwards we headed towards Belvedere Palace. A little bit of
Belvedere Palace.
Now on the way there, I saw this one monument that I took a photo of. I didn't even think about it at the time. There was a Soviet monument dedicated to the liberation of Vienna. And I thought about it like after the trip, like man, we didn't even get to see that. I couldn't see Cyrillic in Austria. But, like, maybe subconsciously I knew how it looked. I took a photo of it. That's it. So my dad and I ended up getting out of the car. We saw Belvedere Palace a little bit, or just I think the backside of it. There it is. A little too bourgeoisie.
Oh yeah.
Bourgeois. It was still very, very pretty regardless. It was also celebrating its 300th anniversary of being open, so there was some celebration stuff about that too. Then after that, we started to head towards the airport to leave Vienna. For one last time, we saw the Danube. We didn't really see the Danube in Vienna, so we crossed it and saw the pretty views of the city.
Ready? There's the Danube.
There's the Danube.
There's another cool bridge over that way.
Very cool.
Second part of the Danube.
We're leaving Vienna. We're going back to Bratislava. And then we headed towards the airport. When we were at the airport, we finally dropped off the car. Someone's gonna drive it back to Munich.
It was a great car.
It served us well.
Without it, trip doesn't really work out.
Went to 4 countries with it.
Yeah. 4.
Yeah.
4.
Well, I mean,
2 of them were there.
pretty crazy, I would say, wouldn't you say?
Crazy. Okay.
I was. And then we ended up going through the airport. What are your thoughts on this airport?
It smells like pork.
It does. We made our way to the main part of the airport. Yeah, Vienna's airport, it's a lot smaller than most other international airports, but it still looks really cool in my opinion.
This is a really good terminal. I think it's very cool.
Looks like Tron.
Reminds me of the dream I had. Like there's this kind of casino built into like this building. They had this like atrium section with glass.
We went through passport control. It was fine for the most part, although at one point I had to take my belt off and my pants at the time didn't really fit me that well, so I had to like constantly hold up my pants. And then afterwards, we were just kind of wandering through the airport. We didn't even have a gate selected yet because our flight was going to leave after like 10 p.m. My brother and I were wandering around a little bit. We went further to this one corner of the airport. We ended up going down this one stairwell. It went down 2 floors and both of those doors were locked. The one that we came through was unlocked, so it was fine. It was just a little jarring. We also went to the bottom of another stairwell where we saw some gate that was on the same level as the tarmac. So we went down an elevator to the 0th floor.
These are first floor gates.
Yeah, I think it's for like airlines flying out of smaller airports and stuff.
But based on what we see right here with the ceiling situation, it doesn't look to be complete.
We should probably go back. Yeah. It smells like paint. When we started to head back to our gate, I noticed my throat was starting to kind of hurt. I didn't want to ruin the trip just as we were getting to Macedonia. I was talking to my brother about it, and he bought me a Ricola trying to fix it. I appreciated the effort as much as I tried to hide it from my parents. We might fly on that plane right there, maybe. by Air Austria. But then afterwards we boarded our flight for Macedonia. There were so many people coughing and hacking. It was kind of crazy, so we put on our masks. And yeah, then we boarded the flight to Macedonia. We're on like the 3rd floor right now, so we're going down a bit. Finally, this mystical land. It's quite warm. Should get cold in a second. There's a plane right there. At 10B. So.
Good free Wi-Fi anywhere you go.
Free Wi-Fi.
Yes, free Wi-Fi. Alright, let's board the plane to Macedonia.
Crazy looking plane.
At least this isn't like the Air Canada flight.
The flight took off at 10:55 p.m. and we arrived at 12:18 the next day. Review. The flight wasn't that small, so that's good. Yeah. No screen. Hopefully we see the flight pattern, but I don't know if that will be the case. Maybe just be texting now. Bye bye, Austria. Austria was nice. The entire flight was all night, and it was kind of interesting seeing how densely populated the Vienna Bratislava whole area is. I think we could maybe even see Budapest off in the distance. So many lights down below, and then the further down you get into the Balkans, there's barely any lights. So over some random towns and cities, maybe in Hungary or something. And there's this chocolate. It's pretty good. Want to try this chocolate review? Let's try this. We also got chocolate on the flight because it was a pretty short flight. Just milk chocolate, just like that. We're starting our descent. We passed over Kosovo. We saw Camp Bondsteel, which was awesome. I actually thought Pristina, when we were passing over it, was Skopje because we were actually very close to the ground at that point, but no. So then we started to land. It was kind of interesting. You could also see like all the LED lights for the smaller villages and towns. They got that new technology. But then we arrived in Macedonia. Macedonia has freeways. Yeah, that is cool. Yeah. And oh, there we are. We are officially in Eastern Europe. My phone was starting to overheat, which kind of is a foreshadow for how the rest of the trip would be with my phone.
I know.
We went into Skopje's very, very nice international airport. My parents talked about how it was basically just like an airplane hangar back even up until the 90s, like the late 90s. Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh my. So this is our first time here.
Yes. First time seeing.
Yeah, 24, 25 years old.
I'm surprised we're not going out on the tarmac.
I'm absolutely thrilled.
Okay, shut up.
So thanks to EU, but that's like a real airport.
New alphabet. And after we landed, they had two actually pretty large flights come at like midnight, and they were severely understaffed. And I took a few photos after landing, and one of them showed how kind of long the line was. There was a guy who looked directly at the camera, and he called me over and he said, "No photo." I was like, "I'm sorry." I have dealt with worse lines at airports, so I mean, I wasn't that upset. The thing I was more upset about was at this point I was consuming so much water, I had to really go pee. So immediately after getting stamped into Macedonia, my 8th country, I had to use the bathroom. And I remember when I was washing my hands, I could hear the pipes from some of the other toilets because I'm guessing maybe they weren't built the best or something. And then we met up with the guy planning to shuttle us to the hotel. We went to Hotel Mir, which is a hotel in Petrovec, Macedonia, just outside the airport. And the hotel was very nice. And then by the time we got situated, it was already 2 in the morning. So I'm going to stop the video here and I'm gonna continue like the first week of Macedonia in another video. So, and the next few videos should be about Macedonia. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next video when we explore Macedonia. So until then, see you around.